Hello, I'm Dr. Katherine Ramsland. I'm the author of 73 or 74 books. Sometimes I lose track, but I'm now writing my memoir. And I have been asked a lot about the difference between an autobiography, a biography, and a memoir. An autobiography and a memoir are both written about the person telling the tale. A biography is something that I have done. I wrote Anne Rice's biography and Dean Koontz's biography. And so that was about me, the author, looking at their lives, interviewing people they knew, lots and lots and lots of people, going to places where they lived, and getting a comprehensive sense of their life story and their writing. But it's me, the author, telling it, not them, although both of them helped considerably with the events of their lives and the chronology. It was really my research. Had they told an autobiography, they would have talked about it from their point of view. So that's different. And they would have interpreted their life events from their point of view. I helped a serial killer, Dennis Rader, the BTK killer from Wichita, Kansas, write what I called a guided autobiography. So he would tell his life story, including his crimes, within a frame that I wanted him to tell it, because I wanted to use his story to benefit criminology, psychology, and law enforcement. So I had a specific approach while he was trying to tell his dark journey. I definitely set it up so that it would be an autobiography with benefits. That's a little bit different. A memoir is either a slice of life, a part of somebody's life, or it's thematic. And it's typically very personal and meant to convey emotional truths, insight, reflections, personal growth. But there's an arc to it that doesn't necessarily include all the parts of a person's life story. And my memoir is specifically going to be about various murderers and murder mentors with whom I've had experience, not mentoring me in murder, but people who, like Ted Bundy's, the detective from Seattle who interviewed him in prison, also the prison psychologist who did an exhaustive evaluation of Bundy. So both of them were mentors to me. So were a couple of FBI profilers. So I'll be talking about them as part of the framework of the memoir, but a lot of it's about an arc in my life of the murderers that I've had some association with, and especially those that were intensely personal, that helped me to grow as a professional, but also there'll be reflections because I've done interviews with serial killers. I've had a student who killed, and I've had a lot of questions about how people can pass as normal. So I'm going to be talking about my life story, those parts of it that are involved in that. So that's different. A memoir can be non-chronological. An autobiography typically, and a biography typically are chronological. An autobiography and a biography try to get a comprehensive sense of a person's life. And they're typically not told until a person has lived most of their life, although I will confess I wrote Anne Rice and Dean Koontz's biographies because I was really interested in reading their life story. And they weren't in any way finished with their careers at that point, let alone their lives. But they would have, if they were telling an autobiography, they would have likely waited until, a sense of their life was well behind them. And so for me, the memoir will be about a personal truth, but also considerable experience in the field of writing and a point of view on the true crime culture. Because when I started in it some 30 years ago, it wasn't anything like what it is now. So I'll be talking about that with some perspective, but again, it will not be my entire life story. It will only be the part of my life that is involved in crime culture in some way, and specifically with murder. So that's the difference. And anyone who's considering doing a memoir, I think it's, in a way, it's more manageable because you're not trying to tell everything. But at the same time, it's tough because it's more personal and it really is about emotional truth that you're trying to not just convey to readers, but also come to terms with yourself. So that is, in my opinion, the difference among these three forms of writing that are about a life story. Thank you.